Hey, baby girl. Wherever you are in life, whether you're in the car, you're driving, you're getting ready for work, you're talking to your friend, whatever you're doing for life, like navigating life, this episode is for you. I want to take you 1 minute. I want you to take 1 minute and I want to check on you, see if you're okay. I know some days I'm not. I'm 27 years old. In 3 months, I turn 28. I'm reflecting on life. I want to rebuild. I want to focus on money. I want to pick up my figures. I want to see where I want to live. I want to see where I want my kids to live and what things I want them to do. And the past few years, if you're anything like me, you realize that life isn't that serious. And when I say that, I mean like you need to find your girls, you need to find the money, you need to find the time to enjoy yourself. But at the same time, you just have to find the space and be in the spaces that fit you. That being said, it's about balancing life. It's about being happy. It's about being focused, but it's about enjoying life. It's like sometimes just like I can sit back now and say at 27, I enjoyed life so much. Was it very restricted? Yes, because I have 3 children, obviously 6 and twins that are 3. But I want to find the girls that get it, whether you've got kids or not. I think you go through stages in your life, especially in your mid 20s, and you say to yourself, what do I want out of life? And what am I going to accept now, where you are now, the current moment, how happy you feel, and why you believe that you're going through this. I feel like we just label things as struggle, and the struggle is real, and we laugh and we say, my friends hate the fact that I say this. I'm like, this is so ghetto. Like when things go wrong, I'm like, ugh, I'm not meant for this lifestyle. And they start laughing. They're like, Meisha, like you call it so ghetto. I'm like, it's just the struggle is not like it's not what I think is normal. And I think when you come from a working background, a lot of people don't understand that for you, struggle is so normalized. Like whether it's your mom, your auntie, your sister, your brother, your neighbor's cat, like whatever, that may sound so dramatic, but struggle is so normal. And I personally feel like struggle shouldn't be seen as so normal. I feel like we should actually break down, and sometimes struggle goes down many generations. So you got to break it down at least 3 generations before you. You say to yourself, why is the struggle? Like, that's one thing I can say growing up with my mum, and I'm doing a lot of reflecting is she used to always say to me, Misha, you ask all the wrong questions. And I'm like, I realized my mum was saying, she was actually kind of, it was opposite. I was asking all the right questions. Like, I used to ask a lot of questions about money. I used to have a lot of friends, a lot of questions about shopping, clothes, and everything. Like, everything my mum did, I used to ask questions on. And she used to hate me for it. She's like, Misha, stop asking all these questions. But then later in the day, she'd pull me to her side and she's like, you know what, Misha, you're right. Like, those type of questions, like, they're valid. And I'd be like, yeah, mum, like, why would you go spend money on shopping and then you would go get a takeaway the same day? Like, mama, cook the food that's in the house. And one thing with me and my kids, I can still see some patterns that I've inherited from my mum and her past generation. But one thing I can say is saving for my kids, doing more. Like, I don't let anyone in my house. That's one thing. Like, my mum used to always have like an open door. She, like, not technically physically open, but she'd always say to people, like, my house is open, you can come at any time. And I used to be like, Mama, we ain't doing that. And she'd say to me, Misha, like, you don't allow people in your house. I'm like, Mum, that is my sacred place. Like, that's where I sleep. That's where I eat. That's where I pray. That's where I do all the things. And I feel like, not to be too much spiritual, even though I am a Gemini, very spiritual person, I don't like people having access to my space. And I feel like when they say the is it the saying, the hand that has the power to feed you has the power to starve you. I think something similar to that. I don't know how you properly word it, but when someone comes to your house, when you give them access into your home, you give them access to leave the energy there. And I don't believe we should be giving access out there to people to just come into our homes and think that behavior is normal, because it really isn't. But anyway, not too much on that note. What I'm trying to say is, I'm here for the mums. Like, one thing someone always tells me is, you don't look like a mum. And I'm like, it's because my job is about not looking like a mum. No joke. No, but yeah, honestly, it's my job is about looking good. Obviously, I talk on camera, giving people advice. Imagine if I looked like crap and had terrible skin. You'd be like, this bitch needs to take her own advice because she looked like she haggard. You know, I can't be looking like no heifer because ain't no one gonna take me seriously. I look like a heifer. But yeah, 27, it it held so much value. Like, it was the first birthday where my mum was no longer on this earth. 20 could have been a second birthday, but it was a time where I felt most, and plus it was I think it was my second solo trip, but first official birthday solo trip. And what I realised is, once I hit that birthday, I cut off so many friends. Didn't physically do it. I just stopped talking to them. And I realised that they didn't message back. I was kind of going for like messaging them a lot and asking how they're doing. Like, a lot of friends. I entered 2026 with, and I haven't spoken to. And I still like that post, I still comment, I still share anything. They don't have to physically ask me to do it, I just do it. But I no longer care to be liked. And any of my friends or family that's watching this, they're going to laugh at this point. I've never cared to be liked. That's the funniest thing about all of this. But when I say I don't care to be liked, I mean in the sense like I used to always overly explain. Like when I said something, I'd like explain like 3 or 5 times. Now I'm like, I said that and that's it. It's like, let me use this example. When it comes to going out with friends, like whether it's travel, whether it's thinking, I always tell them, if it's in the neighborhood that I came from, baby, don't even call my ass. That's number 1. Number 2 is, if it's going to be around people that are going to elevate me or make me, be around nice houses where I'm going to want to explore and it's going to make me motivational, count me into this, because I'm going. But if it's going to be places that is just ghetto, child, don't even make me happen. Like, don't even make me get a babysitter. Like, don't make me waste my hard-earned British coins to go do that. Hell no. I'm not wasting my money to do that. Number 3 is like, most of my friends are my business partner. Like my new best friend, love you girl, I'm not going to say your name on camera, but she's my business partner. And I love that girl. Like, she's younger than me, but she's a Gen Z, and like myself. And she just gets me. Like, she always says to me, like, you're me, but with confidence. I'm like, yeah, I'm you, but I'm a bitch. She's like, yeah, that's what I mean. I'm like, yeah, I know. I know. My other friend, I met her 3 years ago in June. She told me 2 days ago, so I got the date right, girl. And she is like, she's saved in my phone. She's got two phones. So obviously, I've got a business number and a personal number. And she saved in my phone as soul sister. And I don't know what it was. Like, we met on social media, then we met through events, and then we kind of been friends since. And her daughter is 1 year younger than my daughter. So we've got both firstborn daughters. So, naturally special bond. And she made me look at friendship so differently. She actually made me open up more compared to what I've done with previous friends. And she said to me, Meisha, you see things black and white, which is what I kind of get told by many people. But she just got me and I just got her. And I think it's like I said previously, like sharing a child and a firstborn daughter makes sense. And just the way, when your daughters get along or your kids get along with your best friend and then they're their best friend, I think it helps. It's nice. But the reason why I started baby girl marketing, I actually started baby girl marketing without even intentionally thinking about it, was back in 2023, 2024. I didn't properly launch it till 2020, late 2024, early 2025. And when I was, in the back end doing the digital books, I made 3 digital books called Mother. And without even realising it, I was labelling it to my mother, but she passed before I could probably read them to her. But I know she got it because we kind of spoke about things that will be in the book. 1 book's published, 2 need to get published. And by books, I mean ebooks. Eventually, they will be books. And the first title was Mother, and it's called 365 Days of Mothering. And people need to realise that. And it's got, I think, 3 stories in from my friends, 3 stories in, explaining motherhood and everything that's about. And it was just nice. Like, I told my friends about it. I got them to give me their stories. And they were like, Meisha, this ebook, I sent them all the ebook. Like, Meisha, this ebook made me cry. It was so nice. I sent it to one of my followers. She purchased it and then she read it and she messaged me back and she was like, this made me cry. This is so good. Like, you need to do this. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to do it. And then I took a big hit. As in a sense, I took a big pause. Like, my mum passed 2 or 3 months after. And then I was like, damn, what is this feeling? I was like, ooh. Even now talking about it, I'm like, oh my God, this feeling is crazy. But it makes you realise when you lose a loved one. Like, I lost my grandparents when I was young. I lost my mum, and technically I'm an orphan now. And yeah, for the first few months it was hard and my kids called me Moaz. I was like, where's my mum? I need mine. But when you lose a mother or someone that you kind of view as the biggest role model in your life, you start to realise, you start to think about yourself as a child again. And you say about, the money habits that you grew up with. Not only just that, money's a big thing for me, so it's kind of what I talk about. But like money habits, who you was, the career you wanted. It's like my mum pushed me to do beauty. I loved it anyway, but she knew I had a natural talent. And then as she was like getting really ill and we kind of knew she would have passed before she passed, I was like, I'm going to do Pilates. I'm going to get into fitness because that's what I truly wanted to do. And now I've realised that I can do business. Obviously, I do business, but I can do Pilates and skin together. So wellness, I can bring it all together. That can work. But basically, what I'm saying in this video is, no matter what goes in life, you have to ignore the struggle. You have to use the pain in a way where it's going to make you feel good. And later down the line, you can help someone. It's like I was in the park today and this little girl was 11 and my iPhone 17. And this is how much we forget, you know. It's so beautiful when young children, especially young girls. I don't know why. Young girls always have a heart, like a place in my heart. I see myself in them, even if they don't look like me. And she was like, she must have thought I was younger, which is probably why the next bit of this text makes sense. And she was like, oh, you know, like, so lucky. And I was like, I'm not lucky. I was like, I have to go work. And she looked at me. She was like, work? I was like, what? Why you should just go think I am. So I just kept talking to her. And I was like, at 11, I said to her, like, I'm 27, soon to be 28. I said, in 3 months, telling her my life story. Like, she even cares at 11. But she was listening. So I was like, girl, I'm going to keep telling you. I said to her, sometimes I just want to run around this park like I had the chicken and enjoy myself. But I can't because people look at me thinking, is this girl on drugs? Like, is she normal? Clearly not. Clearly not, I know. And she was like, you can do that. And I was like, girl, I didn't say that, but I was like, looking at her, I was like, no, I can't do that. And it made me think, like, us as young girls, we have so much ambition, so much drive, and then we get older and we kind of get put into a small box. But back to what I was saying with the little girl. And she was like, I said to her, what do you want to be? She was like, a doctor. I was like, be a doctor. I was like, be the best doctor. And I said to her, what's your passion? What do you love doing? She's like, art. I said, once you, you know, qualify as a doctor and you get, you know, your funds up, I said, pursue art. Like, pursue it. I said, do it. Like, you seem like you're good at it from what you've described. I said, do it. She's like, oh, thank you. And I was like, just so you know, this iPhone 17 may look cute, may look cool. I said to her, but this alongside everything else, you have to work hard for. And I said to her, when you become an adult, it's so boring. You can't be a kid anymore. You can't enjoy the things you want to enjoy, even though sometimes you just want to enjoy. Like, you've got responsibilities. I said, like, I've got a child. And she was like, her there in the park. I was like, yeah. She's like, she's your child. She said, I thought she was your little sister. I said, Sam, you're not the first one to say that. I said, but thank you. I said, you thought, I said, I said, Thomas. Oh, I love it. I said, and she's like, she's looking at me, she's trying to say that she's got stupid. I said, no, I'm not. I said, I'm 27. But I don't think she hated me in the beginning when I said it because I speak fast. And then her twins, she's like, I'm a twin. And I was like, why since I've had twins? I see twins so much. I grew up with twins, so I don't know why it's a big thing to me right now. But I was like, I said, I've got twins in the car with her dad. I said, boy and a girl. She went, oh, how old are they? 3. And she's like, my little sister's 3. And I'm like, oh my goodness, that's cute. And then her twin sister was like, isn't that your sister? And I said, no. I said, I just told you to win that. She was like, oh, you know, I thought you were really young. And I said, Sam, oh no, so old. And she was like, you don't look old enough to have 3 children. And I said, thank you. I said, it's because what I do for a living. No, honestly, 27 is not old, so what am I talking about? So I had thinking I was like 20. She thought I was a teenager because she was quoting things like teenager. And I was thinking, I don't know, something like that. But I just say to her, like, mentally, I still feel 16, 21. Like, I don't feel like I got any older from 16, 21. I think that's another episode. When you have older siblings and you grow up around a lot of people, you get older and you get maturer faster. So then when you become of a mature age, you technically mentally stay that age because you grew up before you need to. But anyway, that's another episode. But that being said, in the part with them young girls, and I thought it's so nice speaking to the younger generation, and that's why baby girl marketing initially started, is because I kept sitting in parks. It sounds really crazy saying that out loud, but obviously my kids play in parks, and the girls would talk to me, and I'm a girl, like, I will talk to anyone's kid, no matter what race they are, no matter what background they are. I will talk to anyone's kid. I will never initiate the conversation, but if I see them staring at me, I'm like, hey girl, and then they start talking when they hear. I think because I look so moody, but then to kids I look so approachable. But then again, I do love the kids. Like, I want to help the next generation. They are in control of the world, and I honestly think they deserve the flowers more than anything. I feel like us mums, us aunties, yeah, we deserve the flowers. Like, we definitely do deserve the flowers. And plus, Mother's Day is tomorrow, the day before I'm filming this, so they definitely do deserve their flowers. But they have so much patience, so much grace. It's like the mother was on the phone. She was talking to her friend, and then the twin sisters. So one twin was sat 2 swings from me, and then a twin sister was right next to me with the other 3 sisters. And I was like, look at her, me and little mini mum getting on with it. And I thought, little girls need to be told. So not just, I called her pretty, because she said to me, you're really pretty. And I was like, no, you're really pretty. I was like, I love your eyebrows. I said, I can't see your hair, but I said, I'm guessing you have long, thick, luscious hair. I said, because with them thick eyebrows, I definitely know you've got nice thick hair. She was like, yeah, thank you. And then she smiled. I was just like, we need to tell people as a whole, like, no matter where you are in the world, you need to give the little girls their flowers. You need to tell them, little girl or big girl, whatever. I'm forever telling people, like, you look beautiful, you look cute, I like that colour outfit, I like blah, blah, blah. And bearing in mind, it may not be my favourite colour, but I'm going to tell them it looks good on them because I feel like it's so nice to be nice. Like, it helps people to feel seen. It helps people to feel special. I know for me as a little girl, even though I'm extremely confident as a little girl. I wasn't much confident. I was a little girl with a little bag, the little lip gloss, and the big personality, which I still have now. But back then, my bag was bigger than my head and bigger than my whole entire body. Now, my bag isn't big enough for me to be that big, but yeah, it's just nice. And my daughter talking to them, and I'm just like, it's nice for girls to have that, because I think a lot of us forget. Let me read some more of my notes because I feel like I blabbered on a lot without talking. I just had to share that moment because it was such a beautiful moment. But one thing I did want to talk about, should I talk about it in this video? I don't know. Let's talk about reflecting on my mom. So for the outro, if you're in your 20s and you're lost, confused, or just kind of everything in between and more, just know baby girl marketing gets it. I am the baby girl. I'm gonna teach you how to market yourself. Still be feminine, still be cute, still be seen, but at the same time still be firm and still be independent, whether you're independent or not. But I want to show you that you can look cute, but you can also be a boss. And I mean not a boss babe, because child, that's so 2016. I don't even know, 2018. You can be a boss, because bosses, they may not be liked by all, but they will always be respected, and they will always respect the younger generation. That's one thing that I pride myself on. Like, I will always go out my way to speak to someone younger than me and give them advice. I do try to make it my daily passion and goal, but sometimes you go outside because it's raining such a I'm going outside. But anytime I come across a young child, most of a girl, boys, I don't know, I talk about to them different topics than I do to a girl. Like, normally I ask them, like, did they play PlayStations and Nintendos and blah, blah, blah. But for girls, I always say to them, like, keep your chin up. Don't worry about wearing makeup. Don't worry about thinking that you're cute or not. Go, you cute. Worry about that. Worry about your education. Get your head in the box. Enjoy your hobbies. And enjoy life. So on that note, baby girl is out. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.